A lot of people tend to say, oh, geez, I can't do something because I just don't have the knowledge, or I've taken all these motivational courses, I've read all the right books, and I'm still not getting anywhere. What is with that? Well, I'm going to tell you. The biggest problem, the two biggest stumbling blocks that most people have when it comes to achieving things or succeeding in their lives, believe it or not, are mindfulness and dedication, at least as far as I see it anyway. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, because even if you have a small amount of knowledge, and even if you have a very, very, very small amount of money, if you don't have the mindfulness, first of all, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to be able to apply it. Someone once wrote, uh, knowledge is power. Well, if knowledge really was power, you got to think about this. If knowledge really was power, wouldn't that mean then that the librarians would probably be politicians, or maybe the most powerful people in the world controlling the politicians? Think about that for a second. Actually, the ability to apply knowledge is power. And the only way, or the only way that you can actually apply this knowledge is to be mindful, mindful of your environment, mindful of what your actions are going to do, mindful of your own situation, mindful of what you have, mindful of what you don't have. A lot of people walk around and they just say, I want, I want, I want, or I have to get, I have to get, I have to get. But they don't stop and think, what do I have? Uh, what about the people, the contacts I have? Are you mindful of these? Are you mindful of the job that you have or the job you don't have? Are you mindful of the time? Are you mindful of what you control and what you can't control? Are you mindful of the opportunities that are around you? People say, "Oh, I don't have any opportunities. They don't exist. I'm stuck in this. I'm stuck in that." But believe it or not, there's opportunities all around you if you're mindful of your environment. Mindfulness, believe it or not, is the key, is number one. The second thing that goes with mindfulness, once you're mindful of the situation, of the opportunity, the second thing is dedication. You can have all the tools in the world. You can be mindful of the opportunity. You know how lucky you are and how lucky you aren't. Well, I'd rather ask you how lucky you are, right? We don't want to think about how lucky you aren't, but that's another video. But on the other hand, if you're not dedicated to your plan, and people say, "Oh yeah, I'm dedicated. I wrote a to-do list, or I have a goal board or a dream board or whatever the heck you call it. Depends on whose motivational train of thought or school you follow." But the whole thing is, are you dedicated to it? And dedicated means, getting up that extra hour early to do something that's going to bring you closer to that. Just think, if you got up an extra hour early each day, even for 5 days, that's 5 hours that you're ahead of the game each week, as long as you don't squander it away and keep on hitting the snooze button, right? So the whole thing is you have to be dedicated to your cause. You have to be dedicated. Don't run around and saying, I want, I want, I want, or I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. Dedicate yourself to what you want to do. And you have to be relentless in your dedication. There are people, there are things that are going to try to come in your way, that are going to block you, that are going to run interference. Be dedicated to this thing, whatever it is you want to do. And so if you're mindful, you see the opportunity, you know your resources, you know who's in your corner, you know who isn't, you know what to get involved with and what to avoid. That's the mindfulness. You know what to be thankful for, and being thankful even with whatever little you may have or may not have is very important. But then you follow through with dedication. So today's message, my 4-minute message, is be dedicated and mindful. But be mindful first and then be dedicated. And think about these things. And send me a note if you think this has helped you or anything, or if there's any subject you'd like me to discuss. Send me a note through my website, www.drroberting.com. That's DRROBERTING. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to like this video if there's a like button down there, or if you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube, depending on where this thing ends up. But thanks again for watching, and here's to your success.